CBD, short for cannabidiol, is a non-psychoactive compound in cannabis responsible for many of cannabis's medical benefits. On the other hand, THC, short for tetrahydrocannabinol, is the psychoactive compound in marijuana that causes the high associated with cannabis use. They are two completely separate cannabinoids, which are a class of chemical compounds that interact with special receptors in our body called cannabinoid receptors. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, an American neurosurgeon and CNN's chief medical correspondent, changed his stance on the prohibition of cannabis while investigating its powerful therapeutic properties and witnessing CBD successfully treat Americans. He shocked mainstream America, saying, "We have been terribly and systematically misled for nearly 70 years in the United States, and I apologize for my role in that." Through Dr. Gupta's review of the history of cannabis, he found that it has been a legitimate medicine for at least 3,000 years. And Dr. Gupta isn't alone in supporting cannabis research. The director of the National Institute on Drug Abuse, Dr. Nora Volkov, testified before the Senate saying that CBD appears to be a safe drug with no addictive effects, and the preliminary data suggests that it may have therapeutic value for a number of medical conditions. Research has shown that CBD can influence many conditions and bodily functions, including inflammation, neuropathic pain, autoimmune disease, energy regulation, metabolism, reproductive function, appetite, depression, anxiety, and even cancer. But how can one cannabinoid affect so many bodily processes without causing adverse side effects? The answer lies in our biochemistry, the natural intelligence of the body. We have naturally occurring cannabinoid receptors all over our body that interact with CBD. We have these receptors because our body is constantly making its own cannabinoids. These receptors and cannabinoids make up most of our endocannabinoid system, or ECS. Our ECS is always in action, and if functioning properly, is a major factor in keeping us healthy. Many doctors now think that some people suffer from an endocannabinoid imbalance, known as clinical endocannabinoid deficiency, or CED. People suffering from CED may benefit by supplementing with cannabinoids such as CBD. CBD is the most abundant cannabinoid in hemp, a cannabis crop the federal government allowed individual states to legalize in the 2014 Farm Bill. Hemp-derived CBD is legal in all 50 states, is non-addictive, does not cause a high, and is easy to incorporate into your current health routine.
Hello friends, my name is Oliver Sagala. Thank you for watching that short animation video. That's a little bit introduction to what we're going to discuss on this video presentation. My background, I've been in real estate since 1985, and I'm currently a real estate broker. But since June 2017, I've been involved with the CBD movement, which is a great alternative medicine. Therefore, I decided from 2018 and beyond, I'm going to cater to the needs of our senior citizens. And because the reason why our senior citizens have a multiple health issue that modern medicines cannot really help much. And of course, as senior citizens, our main concern is how to stay healthy in our older years, because it doesn't really matter if we have a lot of money, we have a lot of properties, but if we don't have our health, it really doesn't mean anything. And therefore, from now on, I'm going to focus during my professional service to help senior citizens on their health, and of course if they also need my service about their wealth, real estate specifically, I'll be also more than happy to help them. Therefore, on the next segment of this video presentation, I'd like you to pay closely attention to a scientist named Asa Milgram. On this next video, he will explain plainly when we understand what he's talking on this video, there is no reason for us not to be able to live healthily for the rest of our life. Therefore, please pay attention to it, and after that segment of the video, I'll come back and I will take you to the next section of this video presentation. So thank you, and I'll talk to you later.
The inside story of cannabidiol. A couple of years ago, a remarkable thing happened when CBD became legal in all 50 of the US states. If you remove CBD from the THC coming from the cannabis plant or the hemp plant, CBD is now legal to use as a nutritional supplement. Since that time, of course, the market has exploded with interest. And this conversation today is about the physiological effects of CBD on the human body. Truly, CBD is not just another nutritional supplement. This short conversation is going to accurately describe the intense scientific research that's going on around the world, but in simple language so that everyone understands of why CBD is so important for human physiology. In order to comprehend the significance of CBD to our health, we first have to ask the simple question, what exactly is our health? Is it just the absence of disease? If you don't have symptoms, you must be healthy? Well, it's actually a far more important question and a deeper question than just that. How does human physiology actually work? How is it designed? In general, every aspect of human physiology is based on the balance between polar opposites, between the yin and the yang. This creates homeostasis. When we look at specific parts of our physiology, like the immune system, the yin and the yang, the opposites would be anti-inflammation and inflammation, the negative and the positive. When those two things are in balance, your immune system is functioning properly. If we're talking about our nervous system, then we're talking about the forces of excitation and the forces of inhibition or relaxation. When we're talking about our endocrine system or our hormone system, we have the forces of breaking down tissue or the catabolic hormones, and we have the anabolic hormones which build up tissue. When those two forces are in balance, we have homeostasis of our endocrine or hormone system. If we're talking about oxidation, we have forces of antioxidation and forces of oxidation. Most people think that you have to just take buckets full of antioxidants all the time as if oxidation is bad. Not true. If you didn't have oxidation and the forces of oxidation in your bodies, you couldn't survive even 1 minute. Those two things have to be in balance. They have to be in homeostasis. All of our physiological systems have to be in this constant state of homeostasis, a dynamic balance. The stronger your physiology's ability to stay in homeostasis is, the more robust your capacity to be in homeostasis is, the healthier you are. Next question. What exactly is dynamic balance? This is kind of difficult to understand, and the best way is a model of a mobile. So here we go. We're looking at a mobile. You've probably played with this when you were a kid. Perhaps you even have some of these in your home right now. We have all of these horizontal elements with little strings hanging down from them, and we have these stars hanging at the bottom. In this particular model, the stars represent signaling molecules. If this is a model of your neurology, the stars that are hanging would be the neurotransmitters. If this was a mobile of your endocrine system, your hormone system, then the hanging stars would be hormones. And if this was your immune system, the hanging stars would be cytokines or lymphokines. These are the signaling molecules that make your immune system work. Now, what makes this a dynamic balance is, as you know, if you change anything in this mobile, it affects everything in this mobile. Let's say, for example, that the star down here at the bottom, that's now big and swollen and red, gets weighted down as if you took a paper clip or some weight and attached it to the mobile hanging in your home. That star is going to pull down and everything in the mobile is going to shift. You can't change any one element without affecting every element in a mobile. What's interesting, however, is that initially the mobile is going to go through these oscillations where things are bouncing up and down and shifting up and down until the oscillations slowly quiet and the mobile finds a new point of homeostasis, a new point of balance. Now everything is shifted in the mobile. The stars are all in different locations now, and many of the sticks are no longer horizontal. They're kind of twisted at one angle or another. But our physiologies are so smart that they will find a new point of balance. During the shifting and the oscillation is when you feel sick, when you have symptoms. But our body, our physiology will compensate, and the new balance will be found, and you can continue to function. Now let me explain how modern medicine with pharmaceutical drugs interacts with this system. Let's say you have another one of these stars, another one of these elements that goes a little bit haywire. This star over here on the left. So you're feeling lousy and you go to the doctor, and the doctor does some kind of test and decides, okay, we need to give you a drug. And so you take a drug, some kind of pharmaceutical drug, to deal with this one element over here on the left that's now gone somewhat haywire. And the drug is designed to clamp down on those symptoms. Notice that the drug is designed to deal with exactly that one star, not the entire system of the mobile, but that one star and the symptoms that it's creating. However, we know that pharmaceutical drugs have many, many unintended side effects. And so, because of the drug you're taking now, another star goes haywire, and you have more symptoms, and now you have to take a drug to counteract the symptoms from the first drug. And so you clamp down on that star as well. And then a third one goes haywire. And so you clamp down on that one as well. And let's say now you seem to be stable, you seem to be functioning, and everything is copacetic. Well, is it really? Everything seems to be stable here because the mobile isn't shifting anymore, but let's take a closer look at your system. This is what's actually happening. You now have all sorts of artificial weights attached to your physiology, to your mobile. You can see that your physiology is under a lot of stress. The weight of all these different drugs and these overexpressed stars are pulling down heavily on this mobile, and you can see that some of those bars are now bent because they're under so much tension. One more little thing going wrong with your physiology, perhaps it's something as simple as a cold or a little virus, or some kind of drug interaction that you didn't anticipate, and now something breaks. This system is under so much tension and so much stress that the oscillations would be huge, and you might find yourself in the ICU under life support. So in a nutshell, pharmaceutical drugs work at the level of the symptoms, not the systems, which causes enormous strain on your human physiology. So I've showed you this in order to point out, to highlight the differences between how pharmaceutical drugs work at the level of the stars and how CBD works. CBD, instead of working at the level of the stars, works at the level of the system of balance, at the nexus of balance. That would be in these crystalline green orbs where the string attaches to the stick. That's where the system knows if it's in balance or out of balance. It can't tell what's happening at the level of the star, but it knows what's happening right there in that green crystalline orb where balance is maintained and established. So in the model that we are using, the mobile, to highlight how our physiology works, that's where CBD works. Now, in our actual physiology, where does CBD work? Let's take a closer look. Here we go. We're going to travel into our physiology, right into our central nervous system. And we're going to see at the level of individual cells that the cell surface is covered with these green receptors. These are receptors for CBD. And when the CBD binds to that receptor, it sends a message into the cell, which travels all the way down into the nucleus of the cell, where the intelligence of our entire physiology is contained within our chromosomes. So here a chromosome is going to unwind, and you're going to see the actual DNA that contains the codes for everything that our body does. This is like the software that runs our physiology. Genes are the codes for every protein that our bodies make, including all the signaling molecules that run our physiology, such as our neurotransmitters that run our nervous system, our hormones that run our endocrine system, and our cytokines that run our immune system. So imagine, for instance, that these are cells in your pancreas making insulin. This is happening in 1 million cells, let's say, all producing huge amounts of insulin to keep your blood sugars in proper balance. Again, your insulin is a hormone, which is a protein. So we see that throughout our physiology, we have receptors specifically designed to bind with CBD, and CBD has its effect on the nucleus of our cells where proteins are being made. So which proteins are being made from the influence of CBD? CBD modulates the transcriptions of over 1,100 genes that make the signaling molecules that naturally reduce inflammation in our central nervous system and throughout our immune system, restoring homeostasis to both our immune and to our central nervous systems. So as you can see on the left side of the slide, CBD upregulates the genes that create anti-inflammatory biochemicals for our immune system and upregulates the GABA system in our central nervous system, which brings calmness to our central nervous system. And on the right side of the slide, we can see that CBD downregulates the genes that create the inflammatory biochemicals in our immune system, and also downregulates the glutamate system in our central nervous system, which causes overexcitation. So now, let's go back to the model of our physiology and see how CBD affects it. We go back to our one star that's out of whack, and now we introduce CBD, and voila! We see a cascade going through all the points of balance in our system, and the mobile comes back to homeostasis, to its original, stable, beautiful balance. Now, our physiological systems are far more complex than the simple mobile that I've been showing you here with only 12 stars. For instance, our immune system has 350 different signaling molecules on it. So it's an enormous mobile, which also explains why there's so many unintended drug interactions. Because if you affect any one of those little stars, it's going to shift all 350 of those other stars. And who could possibly figure that out? So in fact, here's what our immune system actually looks like. And of course, when you introduce CBD to our amazingly complex physiology, in the immune system, the cascade of homeostasis trickles down through all 350 of those stars. It's a beautiful thing. Bottom line, CBD causes a cascade of homeostasis through our entire central nervous system and our entire immune system. So why is this happening? Because as I mentioned before, we have receptors in our physiology for CBD. This is called the endocannabinoid system. Back in medical school, we didn't even know about the endocannabinoid system. It was only discovered in the 1990s by Dr. Raphael Mechoulam from the Hebrew University in Israel, where an amazing amount of incredible biomedical technology and innovations are coming from that tiny little country. So the endocannabinoid system is a network of cells throughout our body that have receptors for CBD. In fact, there are more receptors for CBD in our body than any other kind of receptor. So the endocannabinoid system is truly the largest network of its kind throughout our entire physiology. Among other things, Dr. Mechoulam also discovered that we make our own cannabinoids in our body. This is anandamide and 2-AG. Anandamide is something that we create when we're meditating, hence it's called the bliss molecule. And 2-AG, as well as anandamide, are released in mother's milk when a child is breastfeeding. So no wonder that child is so calm and happy when they're breastfeeding. Those two compounds are also associated with a runner's high. You know, that point when you're running and suddenly you're in bliss, you kind of break through the wall and now you just feel wonderful? Those two are the natural cannabinoids that our own bodies make and bind to our CBD receptors. So here we have our CBD receptors in our central nervous system and in our cardiovascular system, where immune cells are constantly circulating. Of course, in our bone marrow, where the cells are actually manufactured. And of course, in our immune organs. Our major immune organs are the intestines, the spleen, and the bladder. And last but not least, the lymph system. So our bodies are filled with CBD receptors. So what? Now you know the story. Why is this important? Why does this matter? Why is this important to you or me? Or if you're interested in the business of distributing CBD, why is this important to humanity? If you live in urban America or urban anywhere in the world, you are inflamed. Your central nervous system is inflamed, as well as your immune system is inflamed, and nobody is exempt because our physiological systems are under assault. Assault from environmental toxins such as herbicides, insecticides, and heavy metals, chronic biological infections such as bacteria, viruses, fungus, and molds, and last but not least, our inflammatory diets, which are very poor, usually way too much sugar, which causes leaky gut, an inflamed gut that allows certain bacterial infestations to occur that gets into our blood, into our systems. So, what kind of symptoms, what kind of stress do all these things cause to us? If your immune system is inflamed, you might be suffering from autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, inflamed bowel disease, lupus and thyroid, or fibromyalgia, or even MS, and your skin, psoriasis and eczema, and all sorts of other chronic infections. Do you realize many of these things didn't even exist 100 or 150 years ago? Incidence of these kind of diseases is growing throughout the last century because of the environmental load of toxins that we are now absorbing into our systems. Now let's take a look at your central nervous system. If it is inflamed, what kind of things might you be suffering from? Brain fog, migraines, epilepsy, anxiety and PTSD, ADD, ADHD, autism, and insomnia. Again, 100 or 150 years ago, these kind of symptoms, these kind of diseases were really rare. And over the last 150 years, because of the insult, the ongoing insult to our systems, these kind of things are more and more prevalent with every single year. So, if you are suffering from any of these conditions, any of these symptoms, CBD might provide you with tremendous healing, tremendous relief, right through your own natural endocannabinoid system that brings homeostasis, both to your immune system and to your central nervous system. So in conclusion, what have we learned from this conversation? That health is achieved through physiological homeostasis, right through our natural endocannabinoid systems. And therefore, CBD is an indispensable catalyst for optimal health.
Hello again, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video presentation by Dr. Acer Milgram. You should be very excited like I am, because now with this knowledge, you have the power in your hand to keep your body healthy by consuming CBD to work with your endogenous cannabinoid system. Now, of course, your question is, how do I get CBD hemp oil in my hand? Well, I can tell you this with all honesty, there are many producers of CBD hemp oil out there, but not all CBD equal. I'm very fortunate that I was introduced to the company that I work with, which is Kannaway. Kannaway is the first company in the world that produce hemp, from growing it all the way to produce oil from it in a very professional way. Our hemp is grown in Austria, which is a very strict non-GMO country. And then there is no fertilizer, no pesticides, no herbicides. And when they extract the oil, they triple test it before they bring it to the United States and make it become a finished products. On the next segment of this video, about 10 to 14 minutes, the founders and the leaders of our company will explain more detail about our company and how we can help you to bring the CBD oil to your hand so it can empower your body to have a healthy lifestyle. So please pay attention to the next segment of the video. And after that, I'll come back again to wrap up this video and let you know where to go or where to contact me. And therefore, please pay attention, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you.
When Medical Marijuana Inc. became the first publicly traded cannabis company, we challenged ourselves to become the world's premier phytocannabinoid provider. We innovated an online marketplace and direct sales program that cannot be matched. Our success as a company derives from our purpose to help people live better and create a more sustainable world. We sought out the most qualified farmers on the planet and developed the ideal cultivars for large-scale hemp production. In doing so, we were the first to develop a cannabidiol-based product line. We were also the first to standardize the concentration of cannabidiol in each of our products, simply because it had never been done before. In the beginning, there were no guidelines to ensure a product's quality, so we developed a multi-tier lab testing procedure because it was the right thing to do for our customers. In those early days, the technology to produce cannabidiol on the scale we envisioned simply did not exist. So we invented it, becoming the first company to create an integrated CBD pipeline in the process. We developed the largest, most reliable source of phytocannabinoid products for the United States and dozens of countries around the world. We have also led the way in research. We were the first to obtain a license from the National Institutes of Health to develop cannabinoids as a drug treatment for degenerative brain diseases like CTE. This research opens the door to therapies for several other neurological disorders. You can see the impact of this movement all across the globe. In Paraguay and Puerto Rico, ours were the first phytocannabinoid-based products to be licensed as medically approved treatments. In Brazil, one little girl's need for cannabidiol created the first ever government subsidies for a phytocannabinoid product. Now, our hemp oil is being prescribed in Brazil for epilepsy, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, as well as for chronic pain and other conditions. In Mexico, the law was actually rewritten to allow the use of cannabidiol to treat a young autistic girl's seizures. To meet Mexico's strict regulation, we created the first completely THC-free hemp oil product on the market. From clean biofuels to building materials, hemp's possibilities are limitless. With it, we can change the status quo. We're proud of the things we've accomplished and the lives that we've touched. While many follow in our footsteps, we continue to forge a new path to health and wellness.
The existence of hemp can be found throughout recorded history. Food, medicine, elixir, textile, hemp is thought by some to be the first crop domesticated by our ancestors. In ancient India, it was blended with milk and spices into a drink believed to aid digestion, relieve fever, and ease dysentery. Some thought it made the body more alert, calling it the nectar of the gods. Beginning in the mid-1800s, hemp oil was a natural part of the American pharmacopoeia, prescribed for everything from cramps to chronic seizures. After the 1930s, taxes made hemp too expensive to grow, and farmers mostly abandoned the crop. Hemp became more scarce. Cannabinoids all but disappeared from the food chain, and Americans became deficient in cannabinoids. Cannabidiol is a naturally occurring chemical compound found in plants like echinacea, flax, and of course hemp. In this form, it's referred to as a phytocannabinoid. But plants aren't the only source. Cannabinoids also exist in the human body and can even be found in breast milk. Some researchers contend they play a critical role in early childhood development. Regardless of the source, cannabinoids work in conjunction with the body's endocannabinoid system, also known as the ECS. The ECS is a network of cannabinoid receptors found in the mammalian brain and abdominal organs. This system plays a key role in regulating many natural functions, including mood, sleep, and appetite. Present from even the earliest stages of fetal development, the ECS predominantly consists of endocannabinoid receptors located in both the central and peripheral nervous systems. CB1 receptors in the central nervous system combine with the brain's nerve cells to help regulate the body's biochemistry. Both endocannabinoids and phytocannabinoids bind to these receptor points to control the passage of proteins between cells. CB2 receptors in the peripheral nervous system are mostly found on white blood cells, in the tonsils, and in the spleen. Cannabinoids that bind to these sites help modulate the immune system response to disease and injury. Research has shown that cannabidiol has the potential to reduce inflammation and protect critical cells against oxidation. However, with a lack of cannabidiol in the food supply and the tendency for endogenous cannabinoids to degrade within the human body, most people are deficient in these important compounds. This absence of cannabinoids has led researchers to establish a condition known as clinical endocannabinoid deficiency syndrome. A diet rich in phytocannabinoids, such as high concentration hemp oils and hemp seeds, may offset this deficiency. The discovery of cannabinoids and the endocannabinoid system has forced the scientific community to rethink how many of our most debilitating diseases function and how to treat them. As it turns out, so many of us are deficient in this fundamental substance that plays a key role in keeping our bodies balanced and healthy. These receptors are an intrinsic part of who we are, leading us to ask, are we starved of cannabinoids?
Have you considered the complexities of your body's response to everyday activities? Take something simple, like running. Everyone has their theory about what makes a healthy body. What makes one lifestyle better than another? Some of them may be true. Others, maybe not. But we know that phytocannabinoids play an essential role in helping our bodies maintain an internal state of balance. When our endocannabinoid systems are nourished, we sleep better, we're focused, and our moods become more stable. Our bodies were built for cannabinoids. We have an entire system designed to receive cannabidiol for the purposes of regulating the body's internal systems. Currently, Canna Life Sciences is developing a cannabinoid-based treatment as an antioxidant and neuroprotectant for the brain. With a license from the National Institutes of Health, Canna Life Sciences is creating cannabinoid therapies for chronic traumatic encephalopathy and hepatic encephalopathy. In Amsterdam, Axum Biotechnologies is changing the game when it comes to pain management. Treatments using newly discovered types of cannabinoids are in development for a variety of neurological disorders. When you experience what a well-balanced endocannabinoid system feels like, what will you find? Will you discover something within you that you didn't realize you had? When you nourish your body with phytocannabinoids, how will you thrive?
For as long as I can remember, my passion has revolved around the incredible power of nature, and specifically traditional herbs, to heal and promote wellness in the human body. It is a passion that has spanned generations, dating back centuries among the great doctors within my family lineage. Doctors who have dedicated their lives to improving the human condition.
As the formulator of Kannaway products, my entire team and I pride ourselves in being the foremost in the world at what we do, which revolves around specialization in traditional herbal extraction and finished products. Beyond our dedication to quality, including strict adherence to CGMP or current good manufacturing practices throughout the manufacturing process, I can say with full confidence that there is no lab in the world that can match our unique abilities to work with traditional herbal and botanical ingredients, including hemp. As a result, we are extremely selective about who we work with and with whom we share our truly rare formulas.
We knew very quickly that the team at Kannaway and their associated group of companies was looking for quality above all else. It became apparent that above the desire for profit, they shared our profound respect to improve the human condition, including both those who have faced significant health challenges and those seeking to improve upon their existing good health. In seeking to make a truly significant impact on the world, We have come together to create a platform that is unique and has the potential to reach and positively impact the lives of countless people across the globe.
The decision to develop phytocannabinoid products began with years of thoughtful consideration and intense research to determine the exact cultivar of hemp we needed to grow. The combines we invented were designed to cut down the hemp stalks, providing the highest possible concentrations of phytocannabinoids while minimizing waste. The byproducts that are formed in our processes are used to create hemp concrete blocks and insulation for sustainable building materials, helping make our hemp oil carbon negative. Even our extraction process was meticulously developed to produce the most reliable source of cannabidiol possible. Following good manufacturing processes, our hemp oil products are pure and consistent. We created the standard in product testing with a triple lab testing process that guarantees purity and quality, which is why our customers trust our products. Our commitment to innovation began when we made the decision to formulate a diverse line of products with the idea that no two people require the same thing. We are inspired by the people who rely on our products, which is why the decision to love what we do comes neatly packaged with every order that leaves our warehouse. The people who depend on our products are more than just our customers. They're also our own families, our mothers, our brothers, our children, and yours. We work hard every day to produce phytocannabinoids that bring balance and sustainability to the world. For us, our return on investment comes from a very special place.
In 2014, the global cannabis market was valued at over $240 billion, and it's now one of the fastest growing industries in the United States. Hemp can be used to develop over 50,000 different products, from nutritional supplements to biofuels to building materials. To put this into perspective, anything made by petroleum can be made from hemp. In virtually every industry it touches, hemp is a cleaner, more sustainable option to traditional materials. Most hemp-based products are biodegradable and require far fewer resources than most other crops. It takes just 140 days for hemp to be harvested and manufactured into pulp for paper. Timber, by comparison, requires several years to mature before it can go into production. Fibers derived from industrial hemp can be developed into ethanol-based biofuels, thus reducing our overall dependency on oil and fossil fuels. Sales of hemp food and other hemp health products have steadily increased over the last several years, growing 21% between 2013 and 2014. The hemp industry is rapidly growing in communities all across the globe. Medical Marijuana Inc. offers several unique ways to make the world a more sustainable place. The quickest and easiest way to get involved is by trying out a few of our products and seeing how they work for you. Some of our clients are so excited by the results, they become as eager as we are to share their experience with their friends and family. And a great way to do this is through our Canaway program. If you are interested in actively supporting the company's research and development of new products, check out the Medical Marijuana website for more information. Or if you're seeking answers to questions you may have about phytocannabinoids, check out Echo Connection. Our nonprofit organization is an online resource for news, scientific research, and patient stories. Find out how one story can save a life. The potential of hemp is undeniable, and the future of the hemp industry is limitless. As hemp-based products offer a better alternative to the status quo, new markets continue to grow and develop. Medical Marijuana Inc. is at the forefront of this expanding industry, and we are committed to a cleaner, more sustainable world.
Okay, folks, I hope you're very excited about the new knowledge that you have on your hand about CBD hemp oil. and also information about our company. If you want to try some of our product, I could send you some free sample. Please call me at 909-262-3151 or email me at oliversagala@gmail.com. And for further information about our product and about our services, please visit my website www.counterway.com/forward7791780. Again, you may contact me at 909-262-3151. I'm looking forward to you, and I look forward for you to have a healthy lifestyle in the future. And thank you for watching this video, and make it a blessed day. God bless.